Hey YouTube, welcome back. As you can see, we are working on the 1760 jet boat rebuild, and we are to the point where we need to hook up batteries. You need to be able to make terminals like this, okay? Either brassed or tinned connections, heat shrunk and crimped, all right? Now, you're not going to crimp brass connections with one of these. You're going to need a special tool. So let's talk about it. Let's jump into it, and here in a couple minutes, you're going to be a pro, guarantee it. So with this portion, you can see we've already stripped the end of our wire, and that's about the same size as my finger now. Okay, that's how I like to remember it. A little less than ½ inch. All right. When you pick terminals, you want to make sure that you can get all of the wire inside there. If you have to push it down on there and it's tight, that's okay. Just make sure that no strands come out the side. You want to make sure that when you spin this around here and it's tight, that you can get the terminal on top of there. Okay, that one's good. Let's go next size down. This would probably be for an 8 gauge wire, and as you can see, like, I can't get it on there, and if I would attempt to push it on there, all I'm going to do is spread the wires everywhere. So the other aspect of it is the terminal size itself. This is a 5/16. Most batteries are 5/16. And it'll fit right down on there very well. But be careful, because some battery terminals are 3/8. Some batteries, the positive will be 5/16, or I'm sorry, the positive will be 3/8, and the negative terminal will be 5/16, to avoid you connecting things backwards on factory terminals. But if you're like me, nothing's factory, so all it is a pain in your butt. To begin with, we're going to put on our heat shrink tubing down over our cable. Okay, put that on there first. Then we're going to apply our terminal, our ring terminal. All right, here's the whole deal right here. This is a 2-ton Harbor Freight terminal hydraulic crimp, and when you get this, you see over my shoulder there, the little red box on the table. It comes with about a dozen or so different sizes. Okay, we've actually got a 4-AUG in here right now. This is 4-AUG wire. Sometimes things match up and sometimes they don't. You guys be careful when you buy Chinese wire, because on the outside it may appear to be the AUG that it says, but when you peel the sheathing back, there's not as much brass wire there as there should be. So all it is just a bottle jack. Okay, you can see I'm actually working it with my fingers until I get down to the portion that's really tight, and then I have to grab a hold of it. But you're going to go until you cannot go anymore, both hands. Okay, now there's 2 tons on that. And sometimes the jaws will stick. This time they didn't. And you have to kind of give it a little pop, a little squeeze. But as you can see, that kind of dog-eared it. All right. We have more material that squeezed out the sides than did go vertically. So all we're going to do is put it back in there again at a 90, and hopefully that'll straighten those ears out. Now all the crimping is done. You don't have to go back and recrimp this at full capacity, just like we did the other side. The crimping connection is already done. All I did right there was just softly lay the ears back and made it round again. That way, and to test this, you can go ahead and test it. Pull on it, yank on it. If it fails, it fails, and you didn't do it right. If you cannot pull it apart, then chances are you never will. Go ahead and slip your heat shrink down over the top. And right now I'm using a new tool that I've got here recently is a Bauer heat gun. And you see I've got the small cone on it. Comes like this. I don't really believe it's hot enough. But with the little cone, it actually works really well. So I used an open flame, a little turbo torch for years, and left lots of wires. The outer sheathing of them scorched a little bit. Didn't bother me until I started using a heat gun. Heat guns are great, but you're constantly messing with a cord, things like that. So this being totally mobile, and I have lots of Bauer stuff in 20 volt anyway, I thought, why not? So it's adequate. It does what it's supposed to do. It's a little low on the heat, but it definitely has its purpose. So as you can see there, we're good to go. Everything is protected. Okay. Now when we go to put this on our terminal here on our breaker, we can just put it right there like that. And we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these mounted up. Thanks for joining me on this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Making battery terminals is really easy if you've got the proper tool and you've got the proper terminals. So make sure you know what you're buying when you're shopping around. It doesn't hurt to go one size bigger. Like if you're doing 6 AUG wire, you can buy 4 AUG terminals. It's generally what I do. Yeah. And just make sure that your ring is the right size for what you're doing. Generally, most batteries are 5/16 or 3/8. If you prefer to buy a 3/8 terminals, it's probably a good choice. So, guys, don't forget to wear the personal flotation devices. And if you see me in the shallows, come say hey.